when I launched that products at, it was not in 1992, it was completely a hybrid concept. Nothing like that existed.
There wasn't.
Absolutely. And I remember when I created, it took me 3 years to convince the management, the head management of Saint Laurent to launch it as a new launch, as a new NPD, new products development. They didn't believe in that at all. They said, what is that? It's at that time, it was only one color. And I think the concept was even stronger, only with one color, no coverage, only light, a new generation, totally new generation of highlighting without any iridescent, pigment, with no coverage. It was the first stage of playing with light, absorbing light and reflecting light. It was all about enlightening without coverage. And it was very, very new. And yes, I used to say in French, ce n'est pas un anti-cerne, c'est un anti-terne. It's not a concealer, it's a highlighter. But they didn't know what means highlighter. And I had no choice to convince the editors all over the world and the salespeople on the counter and even the customer, just with showing, okay, I can't explain it with words. I will explain it with application. And I used to do one half of the face and to compare with the other one. And on existing makeup, that was also the very, very big innovation. It's to be used on top of existing makeup on any color skin.
I can honestly tell you, I'm not a fan of foundation at all. No one's foundation. I don't like foundation. I love your CC cream. I adore it. I drink it. It's like my favorite thing. And I had never used powder before. I was sent one of your powders. I absolutely love it. It is not a powder, exactly as you said, because it melts into the skin, it hydrates, but somehow it adapts and it just gives you that little polish that you need. And I actually took it away with me to a warm climate and it was great. Like, it was fantastic. I can imagine it would be amazing on a tropical holiday. Or,
and it's like you're using cream, but without cream. Yeah. And it's also fine because hyaluronic acid as an ingredient is dry. The hyaluronic acid that you injected, that the doctor...
which I have injected much of, a lot, all over.
It's great. And the new skin booster that they injected with the Profilo, it's amazing. And believe it or not, that is a concept of my cream, the hyaluronic acid, the serum, the cream, and the eye contour, with exactly the same kind of molecule, the same weight, and 8 different. Because the average hyaluronic acid and I know we'll talk about that, the average companies are using, they are like the large size of stays on top, and at hydration is the one that we have in the powder. It's almost all ingredients, but it stays on powder. It's like your own moisture. And a sneak peek, we're launching in next fall a new version of this powder, and you will be amazed. It's a big revolution. It's something absolutely, you're going to be amazed. And that's,
don't you think it's funny that we spend so much money on, well, certainly, in the universe that I inhabit and the people that I speak to and I know, and the concept of ageless is to cover the whole spectrum, is that we spend so much on aesthetic treatments. We talked about injectables, surgery, skincare, and then right at the last crucial minute, it's still on the same face, it's still on the same skin, it's still the same organ. Boom, we go on with something that has the worst ingredients. And then we go, oh, I have
No
problems.
ingredients or no ingredients.
Oh, no
Usually
ingredients.
not the worst ingredients. It's almost no ingredients. And when there are ingredients, the minimum of concentration. That also makes something. You know, in my serum, for example, in my hyaluronic hydra serum, 20% of hyaluronic acid. It's crazy. It's
20%
crazy.
is super high. It's crazy high.
I could do much less. No one, the highest in the industry is 2.5%. And I have in my cream, in my global cream, 3%. And we were able to put 20% in the serum. It has a cost. But yes, very little, not very little, enough people understand to make us still alive. But you see, it's a philosophy. I don't want to, I'm not paying, as I told you, advertising or supermodel or things. I'm doing, this is my goal.
Now, you talked about the special technique you had backstage that had all the photographers ask for you. Can you teach us how to do that in real life when we're going, say, from the office to go out and we can't do a full face, but we want to refresh?
Just to add, to refresh your, you know, there is one thing which is a secret weapon for glow is concealer. The concealer, for example, my Hyaluronic Hydra Concealer is in the Click or the Dancelis Concealer, or even if you don't have a lighter foundation or lighter CC, a light color, you just add light color around your eyes, especially here, you know.
So in the corners of the eyes, if someone is listening and not watching
corner,
us. Yeah.
the eye and near the nose, you know, here in this
Nasolabial.
Nasolabial around the mouth, and you just blend it into your existing, and a hint here in your existing foundation, suddenly it will give you a splash of luminosity and it will refresh. It will give you the nap, you know, the small nap result finish and revamp, because you don't, me, I never have time, you know, after a long day to remove my makeup, to redo my makeup. So I'm doing that with a very light color of the concealer of my Hyaluronic Hydra Concealer, or the rosy color. I like also to blend all my existing foundation with a very light, or the apricot or the rosy light from my light expert, just to re-impregnate my skin with a new luminosity. Because
and can anyone do that? Do you suggest that for all skin tones, or is that a universal? Yeah,
it's a universal recipe, or the rosy light or the apricot light from Light Expert. And then you can play with your own color, but don't try to put your own foundation on existing.
And what do you think about customization? I think that personalized makeup, we're just at the beginning of it. I know that last year, Yves Saint Laurent, or YSL rather, they had a custom printing product that it was a lip gloss or a lipstick product. I can't remember. It was and it was a 3D printer. So it came with cartridges, and then you could custom blend 98 different lipsticks.
Very attractive. I think it's super attractive. We have the palette factory. You know, we had that at Mecca. It's like a machine with 500 different pigments, and you do your own color. You mix the color, you press your powder, and you do it as if you are in my lab.
Well, I love that. I think we're going to go to hyper-personalized cosmetics, like skincare.
Yes and no.
Tell me.
Yes and no, because cosmetic, also the cosmetic field, it's a fast track thing, and women want things quickly, but they want sometimes the experience. It will be both.
Hybrid,
And
yeah.
of course, to make something personalized, it has to be like a part of the experience.
Yes. Yes.
I started like that with my lab in Paris doing only haute couleur. And I had clients from Australia. They came straight away from Australia to get their own foundation, but it was done as we're launching a new brand.
Unbelievable.
Like samples to try at home for each sample for 3 days to see if the color match, the color stay, doesn't change, the texture. And we were able to do, we provide like 5 jars with her name, the number, and it was like
you're speaking to my dream to have.
And we will come, but that will be a part. It's like at Hermes, when you're going to your Kelly, you waited for 4 years, for but that was the beginning of By Terry, and we came with a pret-a-porter line with the same ingredients and the same pigments.